Welcome to the 7th video in my series on building a simple online game using Microsoft SignalR and React. In today's video, I will demonstrate how to use Microsoft SignalR to establish a real-time connection between the Backend API and the React front-end application. In the previous video, we implemented user authentication, token management, and built the TicTacToe game interface. I'll move a bit faster in this tutorial since if you've been following along, you should already be familiar with the core concepts. Let's get started with the implementation. First, we need to set up SignalR in our React application. Navigate to the Services folder and create a new file named signalrservice.ts. Inside this file, define a new SignalR service class. Within this class, create a function to establish a new room connection for SignalR. Before proceeding with the implementation, we must install the SignalR package in our React application. Open the terminal and run the following command. npm install at Microsoft SignalR. Once installed, you should see the SignalR dependency added to your project. Now, let's implement the SignalR connection logic in the signalrservice.ts file. Define a private property to store the hub connection instance. Inside the create user room connection method, initialize a new hub connection using hub connection builder. This .signalR connection equals new hub connection builder. With URL we need to provide our API URL with hub connection endpoint. I will give endpoint as hub's connection user. Then build with automatic reconnect. Save the file and move on to the backend implementation. In the ASP.NET Core API project, create a new folder named Hubs. Inside this folder, add a new file called connectionuserhub.cs. First, ensure that the SignalR package is installed in the backend. Open the terminal and run this command. .NET add package Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.SignalR. Next, open the connectionuserhub.cs file. Define the hub namespace. Create a new connectionuserhub class and inherit from hub. Make sure to select hub from Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.SignalR. Now, register the SignalR service in the program.cs file. Build a .services.addSignalR. After building the service, map the SignalR hub to an endpoint. What we defined in the React app. Next, override the onConnectedAsync method in the connectionuserhub class. Let's add the connection group for the application. Await groups.addToGroupAsync. Give the connection ID and name for the group. This method assigns each user to the TicTacToe hub group and notifies the client through the userConnected event. To catch this userConnected event, we need to implement it in the React app. Switch back to the React application and modify the create user room connection method. When the SignalR connection is established, handle the userConnected event. This .SignalR connection on userConnected. When userConnected is called, this callback function will print the message to console. Save the file and move to context.tsx to add a function for initializing the SignalR connection. Inside context.tsx, define the start SignalR connection function. Let's create new instance of the SignalR service. Then create the room connection. Call this function after user login to ensure the SignalR connection starts automatically. Save all files and test the update. Make sure to restart the ASP Core API server. Log in as a user, and after login, the React app should establish a SignalR connection with the Backend API. The backend should trigger the userConnected event, and you should see server called here printed in the console. But it did not appear. Let's check the code. When after create SignalR connection. I forgot to start the connection, let's add that. Save the file and test again. You should now see the message confirming a successful SignalR connection. To handle disconnections, add an async function to stop the SignalR connection when needed. Next, let's enhance state management by creating a reducer function for SignalR in reducer.tsx. Define the SignalR connection reducer. Add the switch case statement to handle each case. Create a new SignalR state interface inside types.ts. Add SignalR service. Move back to reducer.txs file and change the state type to SignalR state and return type also SignalR state. Add a case to set SignalR service, return with change the SignalR state to action.payload. Modify the global context in context.tsx to include SignalR state and SignalR dispatcher. Define the initial state of the SignalR state. Use this SignalR reducer in the global state. Also, update the global provider value. Save all the files. The go to context.tsx field. Inside start SignalR connection method. Call that SignalR dispatch with type of set SignalR service and play load with SignalR service. Navigate to header.tsx to handle user logout. Retrieve SignalR service and SignalR dispatch from the context. When a user logs out, let's remove the SignalR connection. Dispatch an action to reset SignalR state. Let's go to the reducer function to implement this case. Set the SignalR service to null. Save all files and test the update. When login, SignalR connection should start. When log out, SignalR connection should stop. Today we integrated Microsoft SignalR into a React frontend and an ASP.NET Core backend. We established a real-time WebSocket connection and handled SignalR connection state management and user logout cleanup. That's it for this tutorial. If you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you in the next one.